Okay, so today I am showing you a layout that I've made with the Dear Lizzy Stay Colourful collection. That's what I chose to use today. At the moment, I'm just using up my existing craft supplies. Of course, I'm buying more, but you know. Okay, so this is a paper pack I've had for a while. I've got the 6x6 and the 12x12. So today I'm trying to sort of change my style a little bit. Still sticking true to what I love, but which is don't over clutter and don't over. I've noticed a lot lately that other people just keep putting stuff on their layout until the photo and the story don't exist. In my opinion, just saying. It's not a criticism, it's an observation, as I say regularly to my children. So what I'm using is, I've started off, I've cut out, did a little bit of fussy cutting on one of the paper pieces and cut out some flowers and some butterflies, and then I just grabbed this dotted background. Quite often I'm trying to challenge myself more and use colour paper backgrounds with more going on in the background. But still keeping it simple. So I figured if I did this, I would rough up the edges, add a bit of texture, a bit of interest, but still have a border that I like. And then I thought, okay, how am I going to put my... Yes, this is a photo of my daughter bringing me sandwiches. She is absolutely adorable. I was in my craft room this particular day, and they're on school holidays at the moment, and I was cleaning up my craft room, and she knew I hadn't had lunch, so she came in and sneakily grabbed a love heart post-it note and sticky note, and she went and made me a sandwich, a Vegemite sandwich, quite traditionally Australian. And she brought it down to me with a little note saying, "I love you." And I thought, I have to scrap this. It's just adorable. So the solid colours that you can see in the background are out of the Spotlight bulk paper packs that I buy. And they are simply called, I bought this out of these two colours came out of the, let me see, what do they call it? Blue ombre cardstock paper. 65-pound cardstock. Comes in 50 sheets, and you get five different colours, all in the same sort of tone range. I usually pick them up for about $6, $10 maximum, depending if they're on sale. And these colours actually blended really nicely with the different green spots in the background. So what am I doing now? I'm trying to push myself and do things slightly differently. And something that's really got my attention lately is sketches. Now, we all know there's only so many ways you can put together a 12x12 layout. It's that simple. I mean, sure, there's hundreds of different ways you can do it, but there's only so many. So sometimes I find myself getting stuck in not I wouldn't say copying the last layout that I did, but I find myself, if I do a couple of horizontal layouts running horizontally, then I sort of have to switch my brain and go, okay, this one has to be vertical. You've got to do a vertical one. You can't get, because otherwise I find that I end up with pages that are sort of all, they start looking a bit cookie cutter, and nobody wants their albums to look like that. So this particular page, I was giving a lot of thought to running up and down, doing a vertical layout. which I think ends up looking nice, simple, has extras on it, but not too many. I think I could have done a couple of things a little bit differently. Um, I am spending a lot of time on this because I did get interrupted by a child. However, that's mum life, right? Um, oh, and by the way, this glue runner, tape runner, glue gun, whatever, I don't know what you call it, but oh my lord, has it changed my life. My hands are thanking me for making the purchase, honestly. I have procrastinated over buying an ATG and a tape gun, but this one, I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. And obviously will always use my art glitter glue. So this was me. At this point, the reason this was taking me so long is because I was like, you know what? I think I want to do some sewing. Haven't done any sewing on a layout for a little bit, so I wanted to do it. That's why I was using the glue. Why? Because when you run a tape runner behind something, it stays tacky. You run your sewing machine over that, and it gets all gumped up. Doesn't work. However, and yes, my sewing machine, I have what do I have? I think a Janome. I have a Janome sewing machine. I use it for both cloth and paper. And to be honest, even though I've scrapbooked for 20 odd years, I have never loved sewing on paper as much as it's sort of been a recent discovery for me. I got a Cricut, and which I absolutely love, and I love my cut files and sewing, and it was something I actually saw Missy Whidden do, believe it or not. Hi Missy. I absolutely loved seeing the way she incorporated the sewing on her pages. You know, not too much, just enough. Bright colours, foil, gold thread, all that sort of stuff. And I loved it. Oh, what you can see me doing here is when I do a purposeful, neat page, even though I've done the sewing a little bit crooked, I'm pulling the threads back through the back, and taping them down with washi tape, just so it's not too messy on the front. If I want to make a messy layout and use mixed media, that's where I go. If I've made the lines in the pink sewing so it's a little bit distressed looking, a little chaotic, to draw your attention outwards, but I didn't want all the threads hanging. That's why I do that. I pull it, and I do that in my mini albums as well, because you don't want your mini albums to come apart, and you don't want the thread to come loose. So that's why I did that. So okay, this is archival ink. It is so old. It's a now it's got three colors in it, so it goes from green to like a sea foam to a blue. Now, I wanted to add a little bit more interest, just to sort of give the flowers a bit more backing. So, because this paper is not textured and the white cardstock that I have on the back is not textured either, I wasn't obviously going to get any texture from rubbing over grain of any description, but I thought I didn't want green and I didn't want blue. I wanted something sort of in between. So, this ink pad was perfect. It actually matched really, really well with those flowers. It matched in really well. The one thing I do think, looking back now at the video, I think I could have spread the ink a little bit further southeast, if that makes sense. If I had have just dragged it out just that little bit further, I think it would have, and I think I should have put a little tiny bit on the other side to soften that edge of the photos, but I still like it. I think it still turns out nice, but I think before I did this, I really should have put a bit of ink on that side, but that's okay. So I just use my T-square ruler to keep it straight. Again, I say, if I want it crooked, I'll make it crooked. If it's not a layout that I want to look specifically crooked or chaotic, I'll line things up. I'm sure most of you guys are like that. So this is me just going through something I'm getting better at doing, just lifting things up to create some texture, rolling the cardstock. It's nice thick. In this paper pad it's nice and thick. It's good. You can do that with it, it doesn't tear. But the other thing that I'm trying to get myself in the habit of doing is, normally pages take me, I can take an entire day to do one page. Not a problem. But that's because I flick through things as I'm scrapping. Oh, that'd look good. Let's see if that'll look good. Oh, no, not really. And then I keep looking. What I'm trying to do is pull out my supplies before I start. This is why I made that little tray that's above me. I just made it out of some chipboard, covered it in some nice paper. Now, the reason I did that is because I want to have the mindset to be more productive, to make my videos flow, to make it easy for you guys to follow, to keep it simple. Pull out my supplies to start with so that that's the tray I go to. That's all I'm going to put on the page and go from there. I pull my inks out, I do all of that, and it makes it so, it really does make it easier. I understand why people buy, why they buy kits, because it makes it so much simpler when you've got the supplies in front of you. Everything matches. It's just a matter of putting it down, having a play, and enjoying the pretty process, you know. What else? So basically I'm just going along and adding some craft foam now. I know it's bright green, but you can't see it. It just goes behind, just to give the page a little bit more depth, which I'll show you right at the end, how it lifts it, but just enough. Not too much, not so it's going to bulk your album to the point that your spine's going to break. Like, it's not like that. And this bottom flower, okay, I struggle with big ephemera. I really struggle with that. So this layout, I thought, you know what, I can do this. I can do it. If I put my mind to this, I'm going to be able to do this with this big flower. I find big, simple things difficult to work with. I don't know why. I find little tiny things that are sprinkly I can work with, but I've always had this trouble. I love them, don't get me wrong. I adore these flowers. They're beautiful. But when I apply them to a layout, it messes with my head. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't get it right. Some people make it look and seem so simple, but I just can't. The other thing I struggle with, that I think I got right in this one, is when you mix words and different sized ephemera that isn't to scale. Oh mate, that, man, I am telling you, that messes with my head. I can't do that. I'm in awe of scrapbookers and artists and creators that can do it and it looks good. I can't do it. This, for me, was a win because the butterflies worked. Obviously, they're flowers. They were cut off a different page, so it was a different. I don't even know if these come with a number. Maybe I should look at that and see if they do. Do they have a number on them or something? I know sometimes I hear people. No, there's no numbers. I didn't think there was. I say one more time, people. So I did have that word blessed. I wanted the title to be simple. Obviously, it's a Vegemite sandwich. This is the other thing. Guys, you don't have to make your albums all about a holiday. So all your photos for the next however long have to be about the holiday. You can I scrapbook about today. Sometimes I go back and, but I like I like to scrap what's just happened, the recent things, the way my kids are now, the way things are now. And I like it. That was me playing then to see if the tape runner would work on the foam, and it worked a treat. I love it. So, can you tell I'm excited about that tape gun? Thank you so much. Easy Runner Grand. Loving it. Now, it's Blessed. The reason I thought Blessed would work on here is because my daughter's in a black dress, and there is very little. I don't think there's any black on this page. And I thought, well, Blessed might work. So I just let it sit there while I glued that down, just to sort of see if it would work. But it was too simple. The black looked nice, but it was too simple. So, but I love the word sunshine. And even though it blends in a little bit with the background, and this is why now, looking back at the video, I think I should have dragged that ink down a little bit more southeasterly, down to the bottom a bit more, and that would have helped me ground the word sunshine. I ended up doing my journaling under sunshine, and now it looks perfect, which I do my journaling off video. You don't want to sit and watch that. So, geez, it's pouring rain here on Australia Day, and I hope you can't hear it. It's pelting down. We will never say no to rain though. Here in Australia, we have a very dry country, so we won't say no to it when it comes. This is me trying to create my... Okay, so these are my Amy Tangerine. I love these stickers. Absolutely love them. Love the colours. Love everything about them. Downside, they're clear. So unless you back them onto some white cardstock, that colour's not as vibrant. Like I've used them on a couple of different layouts, and they're just not as bright. So this is why I put it on some white cardstock, because if I had have put it straight onto the dots, it just would have got lost. Okay. So now I'm going to cut some of this out, because you really don't want to watch me sit and see. I left this bit in because, see, we all make mistakes. I started putting it down the bottom thinking I was going to cut around each letter, and then went, nah, I think I might make a speech bubble looking thing out of it, like a speech blob. And it worked. I was really happy with it. So I don't make you watch all of this. This was me procrastinating. What am I going to do? Oh no, I can't make my entire sentence that I've written, or my whole title, out of one lot of letters. What am I going to do? Honestly, I'm not a fan of, when I do a simple page like this, I like the whole thing to be easy on the eye, and I was really worried that it was going to look clownish being done in different letters and different colours, sorry. And that's when I realised, you know what? Trust it. Trust the process. Just do it. You've got peach, you've got orange, you've got pink, you've got green, you've got all those colours are in there, in the butterflies and the flowers. Just do it. So that's when I went ahead, and I do promise I don't make you watch all of this. So then, what did we do then? Why do I get the feeling this is in a slow speed? Anyway, I skip it very, very shortly. So if you're still with me, I'm still learning. Please you know, see, I told you, I promised you, I didn't make you watch the whole thing. Ignore the post-it note that I've got sitting on my layout. That's just for me, and I've foolishly left it sitting on there. That's just for me to cut the video, cut bits out that I know are going to take forever. Just cut it out. But I wanted to, afterwards I thought, no, I'll leave this in here because there's not always a tool for everything. There's not always a special process for anything. Sometimes you just pick up a pencil and just create, just cut, and it works. Sometimes I think we try and overcomplicate things. So my title is My Little Ray of Sunshine. So the only thing I sort of wanted it to be a big blob. This is where I realised I've left it on there. Little Ray of Sunshine. So this is where I'm like, darn it, it's a little bit big. So this is where I ended up moving everything up a little bit. Still think the ink could have come out more. So now I sort of just take to it a little bit more and remove just a bit more of the white because it does stand out considerably against the polka dots, or the coloured dots. But it works. I think it works. Something simple, but it works. Now, so if you guys are still watching, as I tried to say just a minute ago, please like, please subscribe, tag a friend maybe, if you think someone would like to watch something like this crazy Aussie trying to get her YouTube channel up and running and find some like-minded scrappy people. And I tell you what, I did see this morning, I was watching another YouTuber and I have found the most beautiful papers, and they're called, can I remember what they're called? I cannot off the top of my head. I can't remember. But I'm trying to see if they're from, the papers are from Poland, and they're made in Poland, and I really, really want to get my hands on them. They're so beautiful. So then I decide to, what do I do then? Oh, then I added some ink around the edges just to sort of get it to pop up a little bit. I think, like I said, I should have put the ink over more. That might have helped. But that's okay. I'm happy with the page. I'm happy it's balanced. Is there things I would do differently next time? Absolutely. Is there anything that you want to know? Now, I will just very quickly run over again. So it's a Dear Lizzy Stay Colourful collection. I purchased my pad from Spotlight here in Australia. I only ended up I pulled the 6x6 out thinking that I would use that to back and create tags or something, but I didn't end up using the 6x6. I only used the 12x12 papers. And I did so all my ephemera is purely cut out of one of the pages as well. So that's all I've used. Where did I get the sunshine from? That's what I forgot to tell you. It's a Kaiser Craft collection, and it's called Collectibles. That's sorry, it's not. Stand corrected. It's called Relax. So that's the paper die cut shapes, they call them, and it's called Sun-Kissed, Relax. It's got 2 words on it, Sun-Kissed and Relaxed, and it's just full of happy birthday, birthday things. But there was a few things in there that were sunshine and you are my sunshine, and it worked really well. So that and the Amy Tangerine letters, they are, if you're looking for those in a collection, they are called Do they have a name? Amy Tangerine Remarks. I don't know if that's the brand or the label. Letter and number sticker book. That's all it's got on it. I can't see anything else, and they're made by American Crafts. I got mine from Spotlight. I'm not sure if they still sell them. Actually, I think they do, because I saw them not long ago. So, and my Spotlight's not the most up to date with its stuff. So, now, what I did notice by this point, I did notice that I should have I've glued down the sunshine. And once you use art glitter glue, there's no pulling it back up unless you want to destroy the whole thing. So I pulled out one of my black fine tip pens, and it's just a Montmartre one. I bought a 6-pack of them for $12.50 from a cheap shop. You can see them sitting there, $12.50. It's great, and they work beautifully. I was buying the Copic markers. These work just as well. Honestly, they're great. And they're nice and juicy, if that makes sense, if you're a pen person like me. So I was just going through and just adding a little swoosh bit onto the letter to try and help it pop off the page a little bit more. I think it does get a little bit lost in there, but hey, we live and learn. I'm learning with you, and I'm doing it. So the next layout that I do will be up on the weekend. So if you like this page, like I said, please share it. Share it with your friends. Tag a friend. That would really help me out. If you like or subscribe, that'll really help me try and get out there. And this is how I'm going to do a close-up. I don't know how to do it. So this is how I'm doing it. Hopefully you can see it up closer. See the sunshine? It sort of pops a little bit more. It's just from a distance, it doesn't really. You can see the sewing, messy at the bottom. See how the flowers are lifted up a little bit because I just lifted the corners? Worked beautifully. I love it. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.